Yes. Hello viewers. Yeah, it's Peter Elgar again here. The old film bloke and funny old bloke from Brentwood, Essex in England. I'm going to try something a bit different because normally all my videos have to be shot in one take. But this time I'm going to have it joined together with a bit of technical help from my young daughter on her Mac. So I should be able to stop videoing and get it edited. But this time I'm going to talk about processing some old films I found in my fridge. High contrast films. And I've got some technical pan, and I've done a few tests on Agfa Ortho and some document copying films. But mostly I'll do the technical pan today. Now, first of all, a bit of good news. Yes, I had my last chemo session, number 6, on Friday. That was yesterday in Southend Hospital. They said it's my last one, but I still have to have my chemo pump attached to my waist. I can show you that. Look, there's a little blue container. Inside there is a glass container with chemotherapy chemicals, and it goes up into my PICC line, into my vein, which goes into my heart, and the district nurse will come and take that off when the pump is finished pumping, and that will be Sunday. So I've got to sleep with it and be bulge at night, but at least they said my chemo sessions are finished. So then the next is a CT scan and see how my liver cancer lesions are getting on. Now, if you have prostate cancer and they say it's cured, don't believe it. Because when I had my rectal cancer done in 2018, they found prostate cancer cells floating around. That was 15 years later. So there we are. But anyway, I'm feeling better. So we'll get on. And I'm in my workroom stroke darkroom stroke computer room. I'll show you a few things that I've got in my room here. Look, there's my enlargers. I bought that one, 150 quid I think it was. There's a Durst. I was given by an old gentleman. That's black and white, but it's got a filter drawer in it. It takes 6x6 and 35mm. There's some controls, which is a constant voltage transformer, which is very useful for my Durst M305 I was given by a camera club member. Oh, that's the one I bought. I showed you the wrong one. That's the LPL. That will take up to 6x9, that one. Got a colour head when I do my colour printing. And what I'm going to talk about is Kodak Technical Pan. Look, this is some dated 1993. That's the one I actually used. But I found another one dated, what is it? 1903, 1989. Yeah, I'm going to use that one next. This is a 35mm one, which I did my first tests on using my Yashica camera with a planar lens off of my Contax camera to see how sharp it was. I only done a short length and I've got no prints to show you, but in a minute when I show you everything, I've got some prints here, some results and some negatives. But first of all, we'll go over to my processing bench. This is my processing bench with loads of bottles. Loads of them are empty, but I've got black and white developers, all homemade. I've got my 3 bottles here of my C41. There's my little kit that I do my C41 in, colour negative, with my pots. They had chemicals in, 500 gram chemicals, very useful. Then I've been given a C41 kit from Boots Colour Lab. They're mini lab chemicals, but they work. You're supposed to have a control, but I thought I'll leave that one out. And it works without that chemical. My original one was CPAC chemistry, made in Belgium. Just the very last bottles of C-Pack C41 chemicals I've got left. I made a litre of C41 developer there. That's my last chemicals. Then I'm going back to use the Fuji Enviro one. These are my two for black and white, my Film Fix A and Film Fix B, which is Ilford High Pan. So I use two fixing baths for my black and white, and the developer I'm using is my ancient Rodinal, which is in this box here. Now Rodinal is 150 years old, and that must have been about 150 years old, that Rodinal. I've got all notes on it, and it comes out extremely dark brown, and I had all sludge in it, all these undissolved crystals. So I poured it out. There's a little drop left, which is very valuable. I put it in the microwave and heated it up and stirred it around and tried to dissolve the sludge. But in my chemical cabinet I do have some fresh. Now this is my, if I can get my torch on, look, I've got some fresh Rodinal there, 3 bottles of it. So when that one goes, I've got me fresh. Now I've had that from years, and when people give me stuff, and I'm grateful for everything I get given. Load more chemicals here. I bought some and I was given a lot. Load more down here. Going back years and years, I've got loads of chemical stuff here. Look, loads here, all in my chemical cupboard, which used to be a pantry, and this was originally a little kitchen. And then I've got some very old papers on the bench on the top here, and my reflector for my Bowens unit. And this is my freshest paper, Kentmere, which I was bought as a Christmas present. It's blinking expensive now, 40 quid, I can't believe it. All these old ones, they've all been tested, they're all out of date papers. It looks loads and loads of them. And then I've got some digital printing papers there. I've got some bags here. I'm not going to show you what's on the floor, it's so untidy because I've had to move everything. This is the computer that came from my daughter, and now she's got a Mac. So I was given, that's why it's all pink for girls. I don't care what colour it is, as long as it works. That's my computer I do my work on. So there's a little glimpse. Oh, it's my Nova unit where I do my colour printing, that I haven't done for years. Print Fix A and Print Fix B, made up from crystals I was given by Bernie Smith of Upminster Camera Club. Great sack full. He's died now, aged 90 odd. Good old Bernie Smith. Oh, I've got my tanks. This is the tank I use a lot. It's a System Major 2, and it takes 120, 127 and 20 exposure, 35mm. So if I don't want a 36, and I've cut only 10, I do it in that tank. One minute, I'm holding the camera, I've got to do it in left-handed here, look, there we are. That's set for me 120, which I did the 120 Technical Pan in there. I do have other developing tanks, look, there's a System 4, and I've got a Patterson System 5 as well. So there we are. There's my clocks, look, they were saved from the dump when I was at University College London. Pulled them out from bins. Then I was sent one by a kind gent on YouTube. It's got a ringer. That's a very posh one, that, all free. So I set that at 10 minutes and it dings when it's done. So I've got a load of clocks, and I oiled them up with some of my sewing machine oil, which I oil old cameras with. But there we are, that's the little start. I'm going to show you in a minute, talk a bit more about my technical pan here. Now, I've got nothing posh, and I haven't got the skills that a lot of other YouTubers have got to put music on and to show pictures actually on YouTube. All I can do is hold up some negatives against a white door, and these are the ones I developed, and I'm going to show you some prints of these. This was the 1993 Kodak Technical Pan, developed in that old Rodinal, and I diluted it 1 to 30. I did an experiment first of all. 1 to 50 was too weak because the developer was so old and it really is on its way out. Look, there's some ruins there. Well, let's show you if I can show you. There's some ruins in High Street, and now I'm going to show you a print from that. You can see all the bricks, and there's a white. I'm going to find it. Oh, here we are. That is a white shell. I think it's this way up. It looks extremely contrasty on there, but when it's scanned, it's not so contrasty. Now, I'll show you a print from that. It's all on this 1993 dated Kodak Technical Pan. The most amazing one is this one. It's a boring shot of Crown Street, Brentwood. There, that one. And when you look at it under a 6x magnifying glass, this will focus in, all the brickwork on them shops is all resolved. And at the very end, towards the right hand side there's a building which is the famous Sugar Hut nightclub, which is now closed. And you can see bricks resolved on that. I couldn't believe it, because the lens was only stopped down a little bit. And these were taken on my 1984 lovely Mamiya C220, which was here. There we are, that's what I used. My lovely Mamiya C220. That was a gift from a camera club member who had it in his loft for 7 years, never used it. He said I bought that to do portraits with, but he only had the 80mm lens. Anyway, he gave it to me, then 2 weeks or so later he died. So I was lucky I got it. And I put it on a monopod. I was also given this monopod. And I went around and steadied it with a monopod, because I was only getting a 30th at f5.6, or sometimes I got a 60th at 6.3 when it's bright sun. And I stopped it down a bit and I metered it with a Western meter. So that's the actual camera I used, with a blue dot C-core lens, which are extremely sharp. So that was when I went around town and did that. So we're going to show you a bit more about me processing of my technical pan. Hello, I'm going to try to see if I can show you. Never done this before in the darkroom with the camera balanced on something. This is the very, very dark brown body now. And I made it 1 to 30, so I put in 9.5 mils. Oh, here we are, it's coming out almost black. Look, whoops. Where are we? Look, that's it. That's what I put in. 9.5 mils, pardon me, with dark brown body now. Into some water. And I usually use filtered water. I'm not going to do it because I haven't got a film to develop, so I don't want to waste the last bit of my rod in there, but pretend I put it in there and it goes dark brown. You fill up to 285 mils and it just covers this spiral for 1/120 film in the Patterson System 2, the very old discontinued tank, which I've got several of them. Now look, I'm going to pour this very valuable old rodding out back, and what I do, went to the £1 shop in Brentwood High Street, £1 land, and got some ball brand universal gas refill, and I squirt some of that into there, and it acts like the Tetanel Protectan spray, which is about 20 quid, and this was £1, and it's the same stuff. It's butane gas. Now, in order to get that out of the refill here, I have to squeeze it with some pliers, and I hold it like that, and I squeeze and pull it with some pliers, and it goes into there, I can't do it on camera because I need about 4 hands, which I haven't got. So I'll just do it now, out of shot, because I can put my rodding nail back in. I'm squirting it, little squirt of my butane gas. It comes out like smoke. Put it into my valuable rodding nail. Now when that goes, when I use my fresh, I should have to use some more experiments, because this is the very old dark brown rodding nail. It's on its way out. So that's why I could use 1+30 dilution of the rodding nail, when on forums they say use 1 to 100. Well, it's so old it would never have developed anything. So when we got it to 285, we stick the thermometer in, and it usually goes in warm weather. It's just gone up to 22.5 now. Sometimes it goes to 25 centigrade. It's supposed to be 20 centigrade. So I put this whole lot into the fridge downstairs. Don't tell the wife, otherwise I get into trouble putting chemicals in the fridge. And when it's down to 20, I rush upstairs and I pour that into the loaded film, into my developing tank, and start agitating for 30 seconds. I'll start my clock. Now sometimes you can, if you want to, you can do a pre-soak, and I have done pre-soaks at 20 centigrade with plain water, and it comes all green and horrible, which is the anti-halation dye coming out. So yes, I must admit, with the technical pan I did a pre-soak. On some forums and some technical places like Ilford Limited, they say don't do it, but you don't know what to do now for the best. Sometimes it pays to pre-soak if you're doing a very dilute developer, to get rid of that green anti-halation dye which comes out. So there we are. Anyway, I used a pre-soak and it came out all green. I'm just rinsing out my little 10 mils measure. And the district nurse, good old NHS, give me some syringes. Look, they use that with saline, normal saline, for flushing my blood and my stuff out of my pick line. They're going to dump those syringes. I thought, blimey, it's only had saline in it, no bacteria, no blood. Don't throw them. I'll have them for my chemicals. And they give them to me rather than put them in the bin and throw them away. I've got several syringes now from the NHS. Don't tell the NHS. So I pour that in. I start my clock. Now I'm not going to start it for 10 minutes because it'd be boring and it would be a huge ring at the end. Pour it out. And I pour in some stock bath, which I've made by putting some water in there and a little dribble of Ilford Iron 1 acetic acid stock bath, which kills the rodding nail, because the rodding nail is highly alkaline with potassium hydroxide in it. It's part of the formula. So I use a stock bath rather than just a plain water. And then I pour in, after pouring out the stock bath, Film Fix A. Now this is very well used, but it just clears it for 1 minute. I'll time it on a clock. Then I pour that back with a funnel, using a funnel. Then I pour in Film Fix B, which is the fresh one. Although the high pan which I was given wasn't all that fresh, but it was a bit of sulphur at the bottom. I decanted off the sulphur and the rest of it still works. But I'll leave it in there for 5 minutes, make certain it's fixed. And then I wash it the Ilford way. You pour into water, you pour it out immediately. That gets rid of the gross fixer. Then pour in another lot of water and you agitate for 5 seconds. Pour that out. Pour in another lot of water. Agitate for 10 seconds. Pour that out. Pour in a third lot of water. Agitate for 20 seconds and pour that out. Then while I'm pouring my fixer, which I put back into a little pot, into my container with me funnel. I let that sit, then I pour that out, and I pour in some wetting agent. Ilford about 2 drops of wetting agent in enough water to cover the spiral, about 285-300 mils. And I let that sit for almost a minute, dibbling it up and down, and it goes a bit frothy. Then pour out, and if you're lucky, you've got images on your film. So then I clip it and take it into the bathroom and hang it up in the bathroom where it's not dusty. And then if I want to hurry it up, I do use a hair dryer. But I was told I was getting dust blowing out from the hair dryer. So I was told, don't blow on the emulsion side, just blow on the back of the film, and the heat will go through and dry the emulsion side, and you're not blowing any dust onto it. So that's what I've tried, and it works. I haven't suffered dust and needed to spot them out for quite a while. That was told me by a kind bloke on foxrio.com, which is a forum I'm on. There's loads of Yanks on there, mostly Yanks, but there's a few of us Brits on there speaking a weird accent. Anyway, one of his kind Yanks said, blow only the back of the film. The heat goes through and dries it off. Lovely, lovely jubbly. So that's what I did. So I'll show you some prints now done on my technical pan, and these are printed out from my computer. They're not darkroom prints, but they're good enough to show you. Right, look, these are some prints I've done on some old 7x5 paper, straight off the computer. But these are from the technical pan negatives I developed, 1+30 for 10 minutes, and I only agitated once every minute after the initial 30 seconds. Now, that gives it time to make these high acutance, but the definition with the Mamiya lens and the technical pan is fantastic. Look, I think I'm focusing. Although it's only a test photograph of our church, St Thomas's Church. Every little brick you can see has been resolved, and that was only at 5.6. I was underneath some trees in the churchyard. So this is the one which I think I'll show you the negative of that, and you can see every brick down the street in Crown Street. I'm not permitted to travel around by car to any photogenic places because that's not classed as essential travel. What a shame, but so I have to go around and take boring pictures of empty streets with one person on. We might have been doing his daily exercise, but there's some the white shell in my back garden. I've done this before as a test. Normally it gets a bit burned out because it's white, but with a technical pan, every little nuance of that shell, it's shown. All the little cracks in it, I was absolutely amazed. Now that was stopped down at about half a second, and I had it stopped down to f11 or f16 on a tripod. That was. This one is the ruins of our Becket Chapel, 10th century ruins in Brentwood High Street. I always use this for testing. You can see every brick resolved on there, and it's only at 5.6, I think. Because it was on monopod, I didn't really want to stop it down about f11 or something and risk getting camera shake, but a 5.6 with that C-core lens and technical pan came out smashing. So I'm going to use some more of that and do some more experiments, but I'm going to have a rest today because, as I told you, I've only had my chemotherapy yesterday, so I don't want to risk going out and getting anybody breathing onto me, because I had a letter from this round, I had a letter from Boris Johnson, number 10 Downing Street. He was a bit concerned about me because I'm a vulnerable patient, so he told me don't take any risks, stay at home and save lives and save the NHS. But I do go out on my once a day exercise aloud with old cameras and old film. So that's what I've been doing, and I hope to show you a couple more experiments when I can get them all finished. But this is rather garbled. I hope you've enjoyed it.